Today's lesson is how to teach really difficult marking concepts. Now, based on the age of the dog, a routine double could be a difficult concept for the dog. If the dog was 7 years old and is having trouble with like indented marks or inline triples or something like that, maybe it'd be impossible for a young dog, but it's just real difficult for an older dog. So regardless of the age group, the level of expertise, when you want to teach a concept, a marking concept, this is the way I do it, and it's extremely effective. Once you can learn this procedure, you can teach any of the tough marking concept. A hip pocket mark, there's an inline triple, there's a short indented retired bird with a flyer deep. Whatever it is, you can teach it the way that I'm going to describe today, and it's very simple, but you know, most professional trainers wouldn't be able to do this because they have too many dogs. But if you're training your own dog and you want to keep up with the big boys, this is a way that you can teach any marking concept. So to start with, I've got a little inline triple out here. And I'm going to drive out and I'm just going to throw the bird so you can see what it looks like from a visual perspective. I'm not going to run a dog on it because it'll take too long. But it's a three-part series, a three-part learning experience. Number one, you do each one of these marks as a single. Number two, you do the whole triple as a triple. Number three, you come back and do the triple and you retire 1, 2, or all 3 gunners. But the concept is there, and it's another way to, while you're working on the concept, work on how to teach retired gunners. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to throw those 3 marks, and you'll see how difficult they are because the line is so close to another gunner. A dog has to be very secure in which bird he's actually hunting. Remember, the 3 important ingredients to marking are watch the bird, get the bird you're sent for, and don't cheat. Getting the bird you sent for is what's important in a lot of these really tight tests, because if you're hunting one bird and you end up with another one, you've bought the farm. So let me go out and throw those just so you see where they are, and then I'll come back and review what I've just said. Okay, so I've put, those are the 3 marks. And so the way you teach this, and I'm going to show you one other little trick. You do each one as a single. If you're by yourself, training alone, then you drive out, throw the single, come back here, and send the dog for it. Then you'd drive out and throw the middle one, come back here, send the dog for it. Then, third bird, drive out, throw the mark, come back, send the dog for it. So you've done 3 singles. So you've done all 3 as singles. Come back, you either set the dog down and throw him yourself, or you have a gunner drive around and throw him, or you have 3 gunners that throw him. Either, however you're set up with helpers and whatnot. But if you're by yourself, you're going to leave the dog here, drive out, throw 1, 2, 3, come back, and do the triple with all the gunners out. Here's the mistake that a lot of people make. They take the hard bird, what they think is the hardest bird, and they do it as a single. Then they come back, and then they make a triple out of it. To me, that is very confusing to a dog. The best way is to do the entire test as singles, do the entire test as a triple, then come back and do the entire test, but retire whatever number of birds you want to retire, or retire whatever number of gunners. You can't retire a bird, you retire a gunner. So if we want to retire a gun in training, so you go in the holding blind, and while you're in there, all your gunners and stations and everything retire. Or if you just want to retire one, maybe it's just a short retired you're working on. Maybe you have a long flyer that's behind it, and you only want to retire the short bird. So, but they go in the holding blind while everybody gets retired, and then come out, and it's all set. Like I said, I'm gonna do an entire video on how to mechanically do retired marks. But right now, that's just a tip. If you're with a group, you go in the holding blind, you get everybody retired, and then you come back out to line and run the test. So if you're by yourself, you go out there and pick up all your markers and everything. If you're in a group, everybody retires. Then you run the test. But let's say you have trouble. Let's say you have to handle on one of the birds. What do you do next? And this is where people don't know what to do. They handle and they think they're done. Nope, you go back to doing the 3 singles. So they re-establish in their little brains where these marks are. No, then you go back in the holding blind after they've been rethrown and try it again. Maybe you can't even do that all in one day. Maybe it's so difficult for the dog you have that it takes a couple of days, but you're teaching the concept. Let's say you've shot a flyer long, you've got a little short bird in front of the flyer. You want to get that short bird out of there before sending to the flyer. This takes a lot of practice. So you might have to do this frequently to teach that concept. The way you can't teach it is with a lot of pressure. Well, you can, but it takes 4 times as long, and it's no fun. So that's how you teach difficult marking concepts. Kitty, kitty. Hey there, kitty, kitty. Yeah, hi, sweetie. Yeah. Yeah, you're a good kitty. Smoke-a-doke, that's my good boy. Smoke-a-doke, yeah, it's a good kitty. Yeah, smoke-a-doke-a-doke-a-doke. Sit! Sit. Sit. So this is a kind of a basic little setup. It gets unbasic when you retire the two right-hand birds, I can tell you that. But for now, this is the triple, part 2 in the sequence. You've done the singles, now you're doing the multiple, which is what we'll do, and then the last step would be doing it as a triple, retired. That's it, easy now. Here, easy, back. Good. Sit. Here. Good, right there. Back. Okay, way out now. Way out, right? Get back. Way out. Back. Good. Sit. So that would be the triple. Next step, I throw the same thing, let her watch, put her in the holding blind, go out, take all the gunners out of the field, come back and run it as a retired triple. So this takes some time, but everything takes time if you're teaching. You can't just power your way through some of these things. It's a learning curve. And if you could agree with me on that, you know, you teach a little bit at a time and then you repeat it and you teach a little more and you repeat that. Dogs aren't going to go backwards, they're only going to go forwards. And this is my hope for everyone, that they teach and add a little more and teach that and add a little more, and eventually you have a dog you're really proud of and that's really accomplished. So anyway, while I'm here, I've planted a water blind out there and I'm just going to cool her off by doing that. Sit. Dead bird now. Dead bird. No. Dead bird right there. Dead bird. Ready? Back. Casting into the wind. Pretty good. Going to go over that point, then down that far back shore. This is a blind she has done before, but the element of the wind is still pushing her left, so I'm going to give her one more cast.
Thomas said to him, Lord, we do not know where you are going, and how we can know the way. Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you had known me, you would have known my Father also. And from now on, you know him and have seen him.